Right, hey guys, how we doing? Back with another video from Totally Not Mark, and we're continuing with this BERSERK reviews. I have finished the Lost Children arc, and whoa, was that an interesting arc. I've read up to, and I'm hoping that's where it's right, the Holy Night people, they capture Guts. I think that's the start of the next one. So I've finished 15, started volume, well, finished 16 actually, I finished 16, so I think I'm partway into the next one, and wow, what an interesting story, man. Like, can't help but feel sorry for Guts every time he gets in these situations, man. Like, when he's fighting all those elves and that. Pretty dark stuff. But anyway, let's see what Totally Not Mark has to say on this arc, shall we?
Let's dive into BERSERK's incredible and haunting Lost Children.
Let's do that. Oh mate, so much has happened. Ah, Griffith. Yeah, what's that? That's the Berserker armor, is it? I've seen pictures of that. He seems to be hinting at opening that up soon.
The Lost Children arc is a story unlike any other contained within BERSERK. In most other sections of this sprawling tragedy, Miura allows us to view Guts as
really
the
is a
backbone
tragedy,
of each
isn't it?
part. However, in this, Guts isn't the backbone, and I wouldn't even say he's the main protagonist. In
No.
fact, speaking specifically about the foundations of this arc, no one character fulfills that role in my view. But instead, what anchors this
He
narrative
just keeps
is a
drifting
fairy
between the
tale,
girl
a piece
and
of
him.
folklore that brings with it an interesting angle for which to view this story through. So I think in order to understand this arc, you must first understand its fairy tale. Peacath the Outcast.
Oh yeah, the little story they had, yeah.
To me while I was reading this was how similar the structure was to one of my favorite One Piece arcs, Skypiea.
Oh, with Nolan the Liar.
One
Yeah.
aspect that these two stories share is the legend or fairy tale present in their respective stories, which dictates what happens later, either thematically or literally.
Literally,
In the
yeah.
case of One Piece, it's the story of Nolan, and in the case of Lost Children, it's the tale of
Peacath.
the Outcast.
Oh, no,
Occupying
that's
roughly 2.5 pages in the entire arc, Peacath's story tells a tale of a young village boy with two loving parents. However, sporting two pointy ears and red eyes, he finds himself alienated from the rest of his community, routinely bullied by the other children. One night, however, in search of his real family, Peacath ran into the forest looking for where the elves lived, where grown-ups never said to go. Eventually, he found the elves, but not the family he was seeking. Peacath didn't have wings and was honestly quite different to the elves he sought community with.
Yep.
They did, however, tell him that one night, many years ago,
Two humans.
mother and father ventured into the woods to save their sick child. They managed to save him with their magic, but
ended up looking like
his appearance to half resemble that of the elves.
Oh.
Learning this, with great haste, he ran off back to the village, only to find that 100 years had passed in the moments he was away. Left alone, Peacath the Outcast cried and cried, his red eyes swollen even redder. The moral of the story is simple to understand in isolation, but it's how Miura leverages this story and explores its themes and potential messaging in this broader story with two of its key characters. Jill, a young girl rescued at the beginning by
Jill,
Guts,
man, and
eventually another young girl called Rosine.
that's the one, Rosine. Harsh story, man.
One of the first things you'll notice in this story is how different
We're seeing more Behelits now as well, aren't we?
He achieves this through Guts' relinquishing his position as the main character, instead placing this role as the young girl with a troubled family situation called Jill. And the reason I see her as the main character is that there are large portions of it told through her point of view specifically. For instance, there's a tremendous amount of narration surrounding Jill and Guts' first meeting when he rescues her from some bandits and kidnappers. Already
Oh yeah, with the tree and that.
but what really makes this strange is
They're
how
talking
he's
about people
often referred to
taking their
as the
intestines
Black
and
Swordsman
walking
or
around the
just
tree and
Swordsman
that.
instead of Guts' name. With this very introduction, she has two Guts framed as our own to the character also. In another scene,
Bang.
after Guts brings her home, he's shown a quiet place to rest, but when we return to that scene the next morning, we find that we didn't spend the night with him, and instead Jill. It's her
Yeah, and he had obviously been fighting demons and stuff because they're disappearing as the day breaks.
Upon the aftermath, Jill is her point of view character. Guts is just the catalyst for the chaos that ensues immediately after this moment when we get the first meeting between the two main characters. The protagonist
This
Jill
was weird, man.
and the antagonist Rosine. Interestingly, and in keeping with the story doing things just a little bit different, instead of Guts being held responsible for the action taking place in this arc, it's Puck and his elven appearance that's held responsible. And the reason
Puck has some good moments in this as well, doesn't he?
called Rosine. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that she's a weird moth monster? This is one of the two antagonists of the arc and one of the most important elements of the story to our main protagonist in Jill. And I'd like to talk about why chapter called The Prototype in the hardback...
Oh yeah, this was the original...
Berserk, The Prototype. This story is a submission piece created
Yeah, it was the original story that he had for it, wasn't it?
In 1988,
which is sick.
became his basis for what is now called...
Because you can see certain bits in it.
The establishment of certain details, worldview, and whatnot differs at points from the Berserk series that was later published, but the intent is still present in this early incarnation. The most noticeable difference right away is how much looser an art style the pages and characters are drawn with. It still looks like Berserk, but with a greater emphasis on expression over the detail he would become later known.
Still got the eye, and then there's the king being a demon.
One which I don't think I can forgive. For when Guts is requested by an old woman to avenge her granddaughter, he refuses in a way that makes my very skin crawl. Confidently, he responds, "I've got nothing to do with just and generous chivalry. I could care less." I can't believe you've done this. To borrow a quote from David Mitchell, "I could care less is absolutely useless as an indicator of how much you care, because the only thing that it rules out is that you don't care at all, which is exactly what you're trying to convey." Let's be clear here for one moment. I don't blame Miura for a second.
Jesus, alright.
Whoever
Come
localized
on.
the version I'm reading into English. Translation is a tough business, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm supposed to be able to take for granted when someone translates into English is that they know how to speak fucking English. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. And now I'm realizing that I've spoken about literally one tiny line more than the chapter itself. In broad strokes, this chapter, while having a few details changed here and there, highlights how much of the story Miura was settled on even before...
Yeah, he definitely knew parts of the story were going to be the way it was. The brand's there, yeah.
His appearance and the eclipse over the castle. A shot that is etched into my mind so deep, I'm convinced years of therapy won't remove this.
Oh god.
The flavor of Berserk
Puck was cool in this, man.
present, as well as Miura's approach with Guts as
Oh, we're still on
character.
Prototype.
Being
Cool,
a
cool.
selfish tough guy that's pretty bad at being selfish. Decent chapter overall, nothing groundbreaking, but if you're a fan of the series, you will absolutely...
Yeah, it's nice to see where it all started.
And now back to the main story.
Here we go.
In the past, Miura has described this story and the broader Conviction arc as a Seikaike or world-type story. The simple
Right,
definition
Seikaike,
of a
interesting.
story is the existence of a close relationship between two...
Oh yeah, because
which
Isekai
turns
is
out
another
the
world.
source of
Oh.
events up to and including having all other happenings in the world at large depending on said relationship's fate, whether metaphorically or literally. Within the broader Conviction arc, Miura is obviously alluding to the relationship between Guts and Puck, which too plays a massive role in these events surrounding Lost Children, particularly the ending. But the relationship in question that influences the path of Lost Children specifically is that which exists between the characters of Jill, our protagonist, and Rosine, her friend, and the antagonist of this story. Something Miura does a fantastic job of with this chapter is managing the audience's expectations. We're made aware of everyone's biases, experiences, and how their perception of the character Guts changes and morphs over the narrative.
Yep, definitely.
And it's most effective when we finally see the image of the children. Now
Oh,
corpses in
mate,
burning
yeah, as soon as he
barns
kills them,
after
they turn
changing
into burning
back
kids.
once
It's
they
like,
die at
oh,
the hands of
what?
Guts. Worth noting here, though, is that they actually attacked him first.
Yeah.
They weren't children and were in fact monster bug creatures embodied with the spirit of children lost from the village.
Yeah, man, they're just
Trying
swatting
to
them with the
that
sword. It's like,
appearance,
whoa.
They see a pile of child corpses.
Yeah, and they don't see the
everyone's
beforehand.
up in
It's like,
arms.
oh,
It's
god.
very like Kentaro Miura to really hammer home just how bad a situation is by making it stand beside significantly less harrowing material. There's a page during the chapter entitled Red Eye Peacock where in a small fire a child reaches out to Guts asking for his mommy, and Guts just cleaves this young guy in twain.
You don't mess about.
It's really brutal stuff, but it comes immediately after seeing a heart-to-heart with Jill and Puck following close behind him. Jill's recanting of a backstory concerning her one-time friend Rosine, however, is interesting for a number of reasons. I really like how these brief moments of reflection add more colour to this already black world, making it feel all the more lived in, but when she brings up the bellid Rosine found, my mind began to wonder. Those things seem to seek out those that are in tremendous pain.
Yeah.
Or perhaps individuals with promise. Certainly not the same level of promise
Griffith,
had,
no.
but it did give me a moment for pause. This rogue elf creature is in fact Rosine after all, and she fell to Behelit, which means there's reason to believe that the person she was once still resides somewhere
Within,
deep down.
yeah.
As she yielded her attack once Jill placed herself in between Guts and herself.
Yeah, she did, yep.
Making me stop to think for a second. I wonder if the person Griffith is
Still there.
And if he is it someone that would have compassion for anyone? Is anything more important to him than his current conquest? My guess would be no, but who's to say for sure? I have no idea what's to come in the story.
Right.
I want to keep this this section brief as it's sort of an aside to the main focus of this story, instead picking up on the broader significance of certain aspects that came to my attention while reading this arc. Concerning the character of Rosine, she seems to have appeared during the eclipse in front of Rickard, which creates, I suppose, a natural segue into me.
Oh yeah, she did, yeah.
Of other apostles that have appeared in other arcs, like the Snake Man from Chapter 1, the Troubled Count from the end of the Black Sword arc, and of course, the apostle that killed Corcus. It was the one Guts obliterated in the very first pages of...
Oh yeah!
Oh, and by the way, I'd like to thank the commenter that pointed that out to us a while back. We definitely would have missed that had you not pointed that out to us, so thank you.
Wow, cool. Yeah, class. Whoa, yeah.
The story we're exploring in this video, something happens between Guts and Puck that's perhaps the most overt and explicit example of there being a fate that's drawing them towards each other. Having had a falling out and going their separate ways...
They do fall out, don't they?
Midpoint of this
You were gonna kill
Puck,
Jill!
seemingly without his knowledge, is drawn back inadvertently to the area Guts is heading, the Misty Valley, where Rosine has brought Jill. I still don't...
This was so weird when they're all play fighting.
It's definitely interesting to see how it might develop. And with Jill now having been kidnapped and taken by Rosine into her land of the elves in this Misty Valley, Guts is slaughtering his way to Rosine without her knowledge.
Yeah.
There's a collision course after being set, so let's discuss the climax and the ending of this arc.
God.
The Lost Children arc is a story about coping with trauma. Jill and Rosine, two young girls and in many ways are point-of-view antagonists and protagonists of the arc. Unlike previous arcs in this story, Guts is seen less like the central character and in reality more like the opposing force of antagonism to the events that transpire. It's honestly fascinating.
It's really interesting the way that they did it, yeah.
For herself, turns into a flaming hellscape. Climax, the action is insane, the visuals are ridiculously beautiful and harrowing, and Guts really brings the intensity.
God, does he?
He's very much the pressure onto the evil in this story, but in the end, he reveals that he isn't the answer that Jill is looking for. The salvation she desires from the torment of her upbringing. She confides in him and wants to escape with him anywhere else.
Yeah, and he's just like, look around me. Yeah, there you go.
Better, and that she too
This follows me everywhere, man.
This story brings to the forefront of our minds. Sometimes you can't be happy. Sometimes there are no happy endings. Sometimes all we can do is continue to struggle and fight.
He disappeared into the darkness, and in the end, I still didn't know who he was. Just like when he appeared, he took the demons away. I was the only one left behind. I still don't really know what these past days of fear, sadness, and shock were to me. The mist cleared away. The mist that would never go away was pushed out by the flames. The clear sky now peeks through. But it's by no means a spectacle that makes my heart leap, like when I flew in the sky with Rosine. It's savage, only cold, but such a vivid sky. It's a clear sky, like the kind after a storm blows through. I don't have wings, so I guess I'll look up at the sky and crawl along the earth. Maybe I can change something.
The poetry in Lost Children's closing chapters are a poignant and
Damn,
bittersweet reminder
that was very well put
that
together.
can be found in fantasy and delusion. The clear, vivid, and real skies we seek so desperately in life come at the expense of what we thought it was we wanted. Sometimes your most desperate dreams are destined to be just that, but you have a choice. To exist in the real world and appreciate what you have when you have it, or to lose yourself like Rosine in the delusions and desires she had for the impossible. In this arc, Miura really does explore themes of escapism through delusion.
Yeah.
The story of Rosine is one of tragedy, and so too is Jill's a tale of tragedy with one discernible difference. Jill's tragedy is one of possibility, one that contains hope for the future. And in the end, if Berserk has taught me anything, it's that while things can get worse, they can also get much better.
Yeah.
And that alone is worth struggling for. Both Rosine and Jill seek ways to escape their realities, burdened with a feeling of not belonging, having grown up in families they don't feel a connection with. Both Rosine and Jill see themselves as Picaf in his tale, and their respective journeys reflect his actions in that children's story. But in slightly different
Ways, yeah.
Ways that explore the messaging of this arc in an intensely effective fashion. Rosine creates her nightmarish paradise filled with the fake friends and guardians she was denied as a child, while Jill asks Guts to take her to look for another paradise
somewhere
once
else.
action and events subside. In both cases, Guts is the one who gives them their respective reality checks. Firstly, by killing Rosine and forcing her to see what is real.
Yeah.
Secondly, by showing Jill the reality of what she's asking for.
Yeah, like, you really don't want this. Do not want this. Yeah.
There is no paradise, only battlefields. And by accepting reality, Jill ends up seeking her own way to confront her own life's numerous obstacles and her own destiny, the same way Guts does. For a manga so rife with conflict and grotesque acts of violence and misconduct, the Berserk series has surprised me by reliably providing some of the most perfectly poetic moments, like Guts' heart-to-heart with Jill at the end.
Yeah.
There is no paradise for you to escape to. What's there is just a battlefield. Another friendly reminder that even the most powerful or monstrous among us face struggles only they can fully appreciate and understand. And that we are all, in one way or another, struggling our own way through life. It should go without saying at this point that Kentaro Miura is a league into and of his own when it comes to the condition of his layouts and the presentation.
Mate, yeah, I love the art and the way everything's like spread out on the panels and that.
Absolute highlight from this section is
So
another reminder
good.
that while he's immensely talented at depicting some of the most horrific tragedies one can conjure in their mind, is also able to elicit an ethereal and otherworldly tragic beauty also. I took a slightly different direction with this arc, and I thought the inclusion of a fairy tale in this story was an interesting angle from which to tackle the material. And to be clear, this is the main reason why the more bombastic aspects of the story, like the fight with Guts and the bandits that were later turned into insects, or details like Rosine having already shown off her control over bug demons in the Golden Age arc, didn't take the main focus of this video. And speaking of
You don't have to,
Rosine,
yeah.
the final bout between the two of them is brutally fantastic.
It really is.
As you know, the element that always receives the main focus from me is the
Story. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. I like that. It's so easy to go, oh, did you see this fight? Did you see this fight? Oh.
To create visuals, and thus making these videos has become a much more time-consuming effort. And pretty much like I did last time with the character of Zod, I'm saving my thoughts on the Holy Iron Chain Knights for the second part of
Cool.
the fiction tale, as I have a feeling we're going to see much more of them later in the story. But in closing, if you haven't read Berserk yet, please.
Oh god, you've got to. I can't believe I put it off so long myself, like with One Piece, it's like, ugh.
I tackle my next white whale in the anime
Believe
and manga
the
world,
hype.
and I hope you all can join me on that big adventure. But until then, I've been Toy Not Mark. I'll see you all next week, and thank you so much for watching.
I am really enjoying Berserk. Oh. But I'm spending so much money on the mangas. So I might take a little bit of a break. But yeah, I've still got the other two movie reviews and TV specials for One Piece to check out that I said I was going to do. So still got those and other stuff coming. So yeah, thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video I upload, links in the description of the Patreon page. $1 a month is all I ask to help support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much for that. And thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch and discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys, all you guys, next time.